Hello everyone, and welcome to the yearly Luke Skywalker Landspeeder review, because it seems like we get one of these every year. Now, in this set we do get the Luke's Landspeeder, of course, which is undoubtedly one of the best sets that you could possibly buy anyone, and then also a little Jawa's Cave as an added bonus. Now, in the set you do get Luke Skywalker with a nice little poncho, C-3PO, and also a Jawa. What's not to love? We could use some more characters, as before in some of these Luke Landspeeders, we have gotten a bunch of characters. Unfortunately, this one only comes with 3 and 236 pieces. This is set 75271, rated for 7 and up. But on the back, you will see the $30 price tag of this set. It does have a bit of a storage latch and also an angry jaw trying to catch C-3PO, but generally this set has some decent bits. It's definitely a nice Luke Landspeeder. However, if you already have a Luke Landspeeder, you don't really need this one, is what I'm trying to get at. This often does happen, but surprisingly, Luke Skywalker is going to be the most interesting minifigure with that new poncho here that he has with the lighter tan, almost kind of dried tan, with a darker brown edge to it. It does go all the way around, which is very nice, and kind of fits the role of a nice poncho. The rest of him is quite normal, but the poncho is a nice addition. The gun that he has is his standard kind of scouting rifle here, and it does have a bit of a bit, but you know, if he runs into some pesky Tuskens that might want to take anything or shoot at a speeder, he can kind of deal with that quite nicely, although Obi-Wan might have to rush in and save him. Underneath the poncho, though, he does have his regular attire of the darker tan there over by the knees, with his just regular, just open shirt, like robed shirt there, with his belt with some utility, and his standard hair there, with a bit more of a blank expression over at the front. Turning him around, you do get a little bit more pocket storage there on the belt, with a little bit of flakiness or just kind of indentation on the shirt to kind of represent the fabric, and then also a happier expression on the back, which is good to see. You get some diversity in the heads that you can, or expressions that Luke Skywalker can make. Next up is going to be our C-3PO, which is primarily gold here with a little bit of silverness over on this side of him, which is pretty subtle, unlike with the UCS Landspeeder version, where you can quite tell what's going on there. You do have some like indentation of gold there. Could be wiring, also could just be the unfinishedness, or just kind of scuffing of the C-3PO here. Over up, you do have the exposed belly area, where you do have kind of the exposed wiring there, which is very colorful there and has a bunch of wires just kind of there. You do have this circle piece there, like the center cog there, that kind of probably closes up all of him. Not too sure, but it's there anyways. You do just have the general gold plating there with his little neck ring that he has around him, kind of just up at the top with some little detail, and then you have his beady eyes with his custom molded helmet, which has existed for quite a while now. On the back, you do have that little extending bit over at the top and some more exposed wiring. Nothing too special about this character. They are primarily gold painted with no shininess here, unlike on the UCS version, but this one does still have some interesting details, which are not present on some of the earlier models. Now, we finally got our Jawa here, which is primarily brown with a little bit of this like brownish orange coloration here, mostly with a bunch of storage pockets to kind of store all the spare parts that they might be looking for, because as a scavenger that wants to sell basically everything that they find that has remote value, they are going to need a lot of storage. Now, they do have their blaster set to stun to kind of get any droids that they might find, with their yellow beady eyes and kind of hooded attire. Not much is known about these Jawas, but on the back they just have those two belt straps with, again, that like orangish brown to kind of wrap up the rest of the attire. There's nothing else on the head. You can just see those beady eyes, and everything else is a mystery. Now, in this set, you do get two things. You do get a little bit of a Jawa ambush cave here, where you can store their gun there to kind of wait for an incoming attack, and realistically it's pretty small and insignificant. It does have a little bit of a dead plant there, so it has a little bit of coloration differentials there to kind of make it more realistic, but it's nothing too special. Luke's Landspeeder itself is pretty nice, though, being relatively accurate with some sticker detailings here and around to kind of make it feel a little bit more worn and kind of used. It does have a little bit of a steering wheel and some control panels in there so that when you fit Luke Skywalker inside, I am going to leave him standing for the time being, but he can drive around and do what you might want. You do have space for C-3PO if you want to put him inside. However, later on, you might want to have space for Obi-Wan Kenobi, so you're probably going to put your droids on the side there. If you can get them on, pretty easy. And then you can also just put R2-D2 on the other side with a bit of a clip for your scouting rifle there. I might not get it, but there it is. You kind of have some good storage here, so if you just wanted to keep everybody in their place, you can put the Jawa over there in the cave with the blaster over there, and Luke Skywalker and C-3PO inside with their blaster over there. Now, the fun part is that you can turn this down, and then you can pop this open to find some binoculars, which you can use for a bit more scouting if you feel the need to. Now, on the underside, there's not too much other than these reverse, circular tiles there to kind of help it glide around the surface so that it doesn't really scratch too much of the surface that you're using it on, which is pretty nice. And overall, it's a pretty compact and usable Luke's Landspeeder so that you can kind of get around where you need to and maybe bump into some caves, unfortunately. But this is a pretty nice Luke's Landspeeder. If you need one, you might pick this one up. If you don't really need it, you don't really need like 50 Luke's Landspeeders, and if anything, they'll probably release one again not too long from now, so you've really got no rush picking this one up. Or if it's not really your fancy, you don't really have to pick it up. It's another Luke's Landspeeder. You'll make it without one. You don't really need it. Saying that, you probably don't need this one either, but it does look pretty nice. Review coming for it pretty soon. So you have that to look forward to. But I hope you enjoyed this mini Luke's Landspeeder review, and I hope to see you again next time. Maybe you might not stick around, who knows, but I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.